So far, I've looked at various books that I've written. 3 out of the 4 of my Slick Mona novels, books on The Three Black Cats, how to write and publish books, and on self-help, how to get started. Now, here is another one of my favourite topics, the unusual. There's 2 books currently in this series. It's the original This Will Blow Your Socks Off. Now, if you look on Amazon, you'll find a lot of negative comments about this, which, to be honest, were fair at the time. There was a lot of editorial issues. I fixed them all, uploaded the new book. What I didn't realise is you've got to take the old book off as well. So a lot of people that bought the first one, and I do apologise to them, that they got the poorly edited one. It's now been fully edited. I've got rid of all the early copies, so that's fine. Now, if you're interested in the unusual, This Will Blow Your Socks Off by Simon A. Clarke. It's a bit disjointed. It's a bit all over the place. And I do explain that in the book, that this was the journey that I followed. This is me researching something on the internet, finding out something about it, but there's a comment about something else. And I'll give you an example. If you look at the Romans and Roman structures that the Romans built, you'll find concrete. Well, the Roman concrete is more substantial than concrete today. Oh, in what ways is it more substantial? You're down a rabbit hole. Okay. And that's the way this book tends to ebb and flow. So what I normally recommend to people is This Will Blow Your Socks Off 2. Notice I used TOO for 2, because This Will Blow Your Socks Off as well. Now, this one is far better organised. Even the original copy was far better edited. I started using a thing called Grammarly. So if you're thinking about writing your own book, try using Grammarly. It's not very cheap, but you price up an editor. I think I was looking for an editor for this, and I think it was between £800 and £1,000. I think Grammarly's like £20, £30 a month. So, and it also, Grammarly allows you to set the tone of the book. I think I mentioned that in my How to Write a Book. Anyway, so this book, it covers aliens, ancient advanced humans, the many different ones, all many different eras, and Bigfoot. Now, when I wrote the original book, I put Bigfoot in North America. We know of things, various other places around the world. But I did say there weren't any in the UK. But we did have big cats roaming around, so I'll do a section on that. I then found out we do have Bigfoot in the UK. We'll come back on that in a bit. So what I did include in this book, and please forgive the sunlight reflecting on these glasses, but I was driving along one day and I saw something. I had to stop in a no parking part of the road, but I had to take a picture of this. And unfortunately, it is black and white. But there you can see a female deer with its white offspring. Was it a full albino? I don't know. You know, there's several parameters that make it albinos as just being white. Anyway, section 3, Bigfoot. Here you go. I've got one for you. You're going to love this. Okay. So what's the difference between a Bigfoot and a man in a Bigfoot suit? Go on, have a guess. The one with the man in has parallel lines. Then you don't get it. Humans are generally thin creatures. Even those of us, me included, who are larger, are not usually big. If you look at a supposed picture of a Bigfoot and look at the top of the legs, most people have thin legs. That means the trousers or jeans fall parallel from the top of the legs to the floor. Now look at Bigfoot's thigh muscles. Do they look like Olympic cyclists? If they do, that might not be a person in a suit. A critical identifier between apes and humans is that apes' hands tend to cross their legs at the lower end of their thighs, just above the knee. This is why a lot of early human skeletons have hunched up shoulders. The people who reconstruct the skeletons do this to try and put the hands into more or less the right human place. A lot of Bigfoot pictures, and especially the Patterson clip, shows the hands upper thigh. That's why it's easy for people to say it's a man in a suit. Now, here's the thought that will blow your brains. As well as being interested in Bigfoot, I also have a passion for early advanced human races. Yes, that is plural. I also have an interest in aliens and how all three topics conjoin to make our actual historical past not a disjointed one. In fact, if you follow the theory through based on all the evidence, it actually begins to make sense. So there you go. This is a lot thicker book than the original one. That was really sort of throwing some ideas together, threw everything into it, absolutely everything into it, which is, if you plan on writing a book, novel's a novel, but if you're trying to do a factual one based on your interest, do everything you know. You're doing it on certain types of cars, put everything in. Because in 6 months to a year time, you're going to have enough for another book. So there you go. This will blow your socks off. And This Will Blow Your Socks Off Too by Simon A. Clarke, Simon Amazing Clarke, and Amazon. You enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. Bye.